Hi guys, it's Rob here from Mindset First and welcome back to another episode of Monday Mindset. This week I want to talk to you guys about the silent conversation. So the silent conversation is going to be based around two primary things: effort and body language. So as you all know, there are different types of conversations, and the two primary conversations that come out in everyday life, in competition, and in training are going to be vocal, loud conversations and the silent conversation. So, our vocal and loud conversations where we are, expressing through words and through maybe even sounds, what it is that we want, what it is that we feel, so on and so forth. That is a direct way of communicating a message to those around us and to ourselves. However, there is a very powerful and not much spoken about silent conversation. So let's start with effort. When somebody is pushing really hard and you see them sweating, you see them out of breath, you see them really giving 110% into every single thing that they are doing, not only are they sending a message to themselves as, I am pushing hard, I am here to stay, I'm fighting, I am putting everything that I possibly have into what it is that what I'm doing right now. They're also sending a silent and indirect message to those around them, right? So, those messages can either induce fear, they can induce intimidation, they could induce motivation, depending on the individual that is receiving that message. And this is why, when you see top athletes or top teams compete against each other, you almost feel like the level of both competitors or both teams rise. And that is because of the element of effort, right? So the more effortful one side is, it usually ends up, again, at the elite levels, creating a sense of motivation and even to a certain extent a little bit of urgency in the competitor, and so their level also lifts. This is why when these two huge teams, two huge competitors clash together, you usually end up having a very entertaining competition, game, match, whatever it may be. So that is the first one. So effort is very, very important. Guys, keep in mind that effort tells a lot about ourselves. It sends a message to ourselves from ourselves, as well as providing a message to those around us. So that is going to be the first aspect of our silent conversation. Now, the second aspect, which I believe is even more powerful than effort, is body language. So what our body language suggests many things. And again, it sends a indirect message to ourselves as well as those around us. So, if let's say you're making plenty of mistakes and your body language stays positive, chest is up, head is up, we're holding a nice strong posture, we're walking with great confidence, we are feeling very good, although some of those mistakes are piling up, this sends a message to ourselves that this is not really bothering me, and now I can be psychologically clear and look for the right solutions as I'm going forward, and I'm going to continue competing and or training. And again, this also sends a indirect message to the opponent or to the person who is competing against you, or the team that is competing against you. And oftentimes your body language can really determine how your opponent or the team that you're playing against will continue to alter their strategies in accordance to what you're doing, how you're feeling. So if your body language is negative and they've noticed that certain things cause your body language to become more and more negative, they will start to pick on that thing, and so now that has become a weakness for you. Your body language is absolutely crucial, as again, it sends out energy to your own self, right? And the more negative we are, let's say, we drop the shoulders, head comes down, whatever it may be, the body also tends to start to feel more tired. Our emotional capacity then becomes much less. So our ability to deal with emotions and regulate emotions, as well as bounce back from certain situations, becomes, it becomes much harder to do that. We become much more sluggish. Attitude kind of comes down with that as well. And once again, if all of that happens, it sends a signal to whoever is on the other side we are competing against, or even coaches or whatever it may be. So remember, guys, that there is a silent conversation, and you are saying a ton through your effort and your body language, and this really, really, really identifies your amateur competitors to your good competitors to your great competitors and then to your champions. If you look at the greatest competitors in any sport, their body language and effort are always going to be exactly the way it needs to be: positive, very hardworking, very proactive, and incredibly uplifting, right? There, it is very uncommon to see the top competitors or the most elite of the elite show very poor body language, show very poor effort, and there is a reason for that. Also, guys, keep in mind that the more effort you put out there, the better your body language is on a day-to-day basis. This will become your habit, and therefore this will become what you will be doing on a regular basis. And this is how we achieve these high levels of greatness. And this is how our favorite competitors and our idols have been able to achieve some of those levels. Of course, these are not the only ways. There's a lot of different there are a lot of different components that go into achieving success and greatness like some of these athletes have. However, these are two very important aspects. So guys, remember one more time that there is a silent conversation, and the two biggest components of that silent conversation are going to be effort and body language. They tell a lot about you to your opponent, and it sends certain signals to the body, which then allows the body to compete at a higher or lower level depending on some of those signals that you are sending. So guys, try to really work on your body language, try to really work on your effort, be very mindful of that silent conversation. Have a fantastic week, and remember guys that the mindset always wins.